Imagine a world cloaked in the chilling grip of Nazi tyranny, a world where the swastika casts its ominous shadow across continents, where the jackboot tramples upon the very soul of freedom. This is no mere nightmare, but a terrifying glimpse into what might have been, had Hitler triumphed. The year is 1945. The roar of war still echoes, but the tide has turned. In a devastating display of power, the Nazis unleash the atomic bomb, a force unimaginable, a weapon that shatters the resolve of the Allied forces. America reels, Britain falters, and the hope that had flickered in the hearts of millions is snuffed out. The world watches in stunned silence as the Nazi war machine grinds to a halt, victorious. Hitler, the architect of this new world order, stands triumphant, his twisted vision of a 1,000-year Reich now a terrifying reality. The world trembled before the might of the atomic bomb. This terrifying weapon, born of desperation and fueled by twisted ambition, became the key to Hitler's ascent. The Nazis, through a combination of ruthless efficiency and a perverse distortion of scientific brilliance, had achieved what others thought impossible. The world was stunned. The Allied forces, once united in opposition, crumbled from within. The United States, reeling from the unimaginable destruction, retreated into isolation. Britain, battered and broken, was forced to accept a bitter peace. With each passing day, the Nazi grip tightened. Resistance, once a beacon of hope, dwindled under the ever-present threat of brutal reprisal. Fear, like a venomous fog, seeped into every corner of existence. The world had entered a dark age, an age ruled by the iron fist of Nazi ideology. Gone was the familiar map of the world, replaced by the stark reality of Nazi dominion. Vast swaths of Europe from the Atlantic coast to the Ural Mountains were absorbed into the Reich. The Nazi hunger for Lebensraum, living space, knew no bounds. Africa, rich in resources and ripe for exploitation, became a continent under the Nazi yoke. The Americas, while spared direct conquest, existed under the constant shadow of Nazi power. The once proud nations of the world, stripped of their autonomy, were forced to pay homage to their new masters. The world, once a tapestry of diverse cultures and ideologies, was forcibly homogenized under the banner of Nazi supremacy. The very air was thick with the stench of oppression, the silence broken only by the tramp of jackboots and the mournful cries of the oppressed. Section 4. The iron grip of the Nazi economy. With the world under their heel, the Nazis set about constructing a new economic order, one designed to serve the Reich and the Reich alone. Resources were plundered from conquered territories, fueling the Nazi war machine and enriching the party elite. Slavery, once an abhorrence, became commonplace. Millions toiled in factories and fields, stripped of their dignity and forced to serve their Nazi overlords. The fruits of their labor were funneled upwards, enriching the coffers of the Reich and perpetuating its reign of terror. The global economy, once a vibrant network of trade and cooperation, was twisted into a grotesque parody of its former self. The Nazi regime, driven by its insatiable hunger for power, had created a system where the few prospered at the expense of the many, a system built on exploitation and maintained through fear. Science in the service of tyranny. Science, once a beacon of progress, was twisted into a tool of oppression under the Nazis. The same ingenuity that unleashed the atomic bomb was directed towards terrifying weapons. Scientific advancement was driven by a need to maintain power. The Nazis developed advanced weaponry and surveillance technologies to create a society where dissent was unthinkable. Section 6. The crushing weight of oppression. The world under Nazi rule was bleak and unforgiving. The jackboot was omnipresent, a reminder of the regime's power. Every aspect of life was controlled by the Nazi state. Education became a tool of indoctrination. Art, music, literature, all were censored. Even in the darkest times, resistance persisted. Section 7. A chilling legacy. The world under Nazi rule is a chilling thought, a world where darkness reigns, where freedom is a distant memory, and humanity is twisted and deformed. It reminds us of the fragility of peace and the dangers of intolerance and hate. We must ask, what can we do to prevent such a future? The answer lies in vigilance, compassion, and a commitment to freedom and justice.